BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. You think you know your stuff? Well, get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200K. $200,000. It's ridiculous. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Did you watch AEW Dynamite?
Yes, I did.
Okay, this is kind of an easy show to watch. This is their anniversary show. And for some reason, hang on a minute. Give me 2 seconds.
To know the number.
All right. So what was the number?
Anybody want to guess, or you just want to know?
Under 7.
680.
680, yeah.
Wow, that's their anniversary show.
Yeah.
Which should be big, should be special, should be, you would think, different. And wow, 680?
And look what happens with to the quarters too. At the you'd think Okada and Bryan.
Now, of course, bro, we'll talk about that. But I absolutely thought it would not do well. Okay, but I mean, because first of all, it wasn't built up, so nobody really cared except
and a lot of people don't know who Okada is.
Yeah, right. And the only people that really care about this are the sickos that know Okada from New Japan,
which we now know are at 580,000 looking at this, or 574,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So before the match, Will Ospreay was talking with Kyle Fletcher, and Don Callis and Takeshita showed up. And Callis told Fletcher they needed to talk about last week, and then Fletcher walked off with them. So Ospreay comes out for his match with Ricochet. They do all the same stuff that they did 8 years ago, where they do the flips and the cartwheels and stuff. And it's not, bro. There's too much. I don't care. Like you people, you may like this, is fine. I do not care for matches where guys are literally just standing there like bent over waiting for a guy to do a move to them so they can cooperate. This is not Ricochet. Somebody tweeted that this was not wrestling, and Ricochet tweeted, yes, it is. And I'll say, okay, yeah, it is, but it's not, dude. It's look at the numbers on this match. I mean, bro, literally people, this is a match. People are turning off changing the channel on your match. This is supposed to be like this is like, if you want to talk about the evolution of professional wrestling, it's like, dude, well, what are you evolving? They're turning off your match.
So during their match, let me see the, because I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it? Look at it.
I think he took it down.
No, it's back up.
No, it's still there.
I don't see it. Let me see.
You got it on the main screen? You on the?
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did go down.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you guys are thinking you're doing what, and you're the sickos like this, but dude.
And also remember, they got the artificial bump off Modern Family. What was it? The Big Bang.
Right.
Yeah. People. So I'm sorry, I don't like this, and obviously other people don't too, because they're literally turning your match off. So it's like, you guys can, and plus the finish was so stupid. They did there was a draw. Then they did 5 more minutes. Continue. And Tony Khan says, continue this match. Like everybody wanted this match to continue as they're turning the shit off, right? So they do a spot where they do. Remember I told you how they no-sell the Spider-Ranas? These guys no-sell Spider-Ranas to each other back and forth, and he falls on top of him with both of their shoulders are down where they're laying on each other, and it's a double pin.
Right.
Like,
So.
And it's you got what you asked for here. Smash lost 100,000 people. So
I know I said this earlier on the show, but I dare anyone.
Oh no! But time out. I forgot. Yeah. After the match, Takeshita came in and beat everybody up. So, whatever.
Well, he only beat up Ospreay, right?
No, he beat up Ricochet too.
Okay. Yeah. So, congratulations on getting 3 more years. Okay. Obviously, that will never ever be printed. Dare anyone to.
Right.
We don't want you to get canceled. Like I said, we just want the show to get better by explaining who all these Japanese and Mexican wrestlers are that come in, and you assume everybody knows who they are, having cold opens, etc. But anyways, I like this match. This is the type of match I like, because it's kind of like lucha-centric. I hate draws. I don't care if it's in boxing, soccer, UFC, and especially wrestling. All right? I don't think the people like the draw either, because they kind of like groaned. Yep. And remember that the Spider-Man pose I was telling you that Vikingo started? They started off the match with that, doing
I
a
know,
high
yeah,
spot
that's right.
into the Spider-Man pose, right? These are two of the best high flyers in the world of the past decade. Just going out there and doing all their shit, which me, I like high flyers. What was weird to me is that Takeshita, who they haven't really done anything with, when he got on Osprey, people were booing, you know.
Right.
So let me guess, Takeshi's gonna get a chance against Osprey and he'll lose.
Right.
And I like the Hurricanrana that Ricochet did on the barricade. That takes a lot of balance. But yeah, I like this
Oh
match
yeah. Oh
myself.
no, I specifically did not like that spot
Yeah,
because he throws Ricochet over the barricade or Osprey over the barricade.
right.
Okay, Osprey jumps up on the barricade and just to stand there.
Yeah, waits for him.
Okay, and he's standing there waiting for Ricochet to
Right.
jump up on the barricade to give him the Hurricanrana.
Yeah.
But that's not my cup of tea. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
people.
you're right about that. But what's he gonna do? Jump up there and then jump down because he hasn't done the move?
I mean,
Yeah.
you like that. This is cool moves, and it makes no sense that they're doing. This is absurd. So in my
Well,
in
this
my
is a
opinion-
video match. This is a video game match.
right. So you're also your favorite character on the show. Renee Paquette interviewed Mercedes Moné while Camille was standing there, and I think she's got to be intentionally annoying. Like
She
when
has to
throws-
be. This is brutal.
Like she does.
She is
What town were
very-
they in?
Huh?
Where were they at? Where were they at? Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Bro, the people are cringe over her. So then
Well, at least she's a heel when she's doing it.
they had a video package of her highlights, and then she said, "Money changes everything." Then MVP showed up and said, "Yes, it does." And I love the simplicity of this in wrestling. MVP hands her his business card.
Right.
Check out
And
the
walks away.
So Renee Paquette interviewed Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn about Juice Robinson's match, and they showed they didn't show it yet, but Hangman Page showed up and just beat them up with the chair. Because they actually showed the video of why Page and Hangman Page is wrestling Juice Robinson. Because
Right.
on one of the other shows there was the lumberjack match, and they had issues. He was one of the lumberjacks, and they
Right.
had
That's really reaching.
So this is a big match on their now that's a setup for for one of their matches on their anniversary show, right?
This is a
So
little
Big Bill-
just ticket information. So they distribute it 4,425, right? Okay,
Right.
same building, Dynamite, April 2023, 5844 tickets sold. April 2022, 5758. And then back in 2019, 6,000. So they didn't this is the lowest Dynamite
6,000-ish every time. So how many did they have this time?
44.
So that's 16 out of 60. That's a 40% drop in fans.
Well, no, 6,000 down to 4,400. It's what, a quarter?
16 sitting on 28%. It's almost 30%.
Yep.
And then we're haters. I hate to bring that up, guys. I'm just
Right,
hating,
right.
but
Go ahead and do it.
It sounds
You
like
know.
it's piling on.
So, but maybe your
the
program
truth.
is not that good. You're year over year, you're losing fans in your live shows. But if you want to celebrate, you've got 3 more years on TV. That's great. You weren't going anywhere to begin with, but you got to fix this. Like this doesn't just because you get a TV rights deal doesn't mean that this good. It's not, and people are not coming to the shows.
And they
So-
had two of the biggest matches that they could advertise for that audience. Those are big deals to that crowd, and they sold us tickets.
Jericho in the next segment with this called TV Time with Jericho, and he congratulated 5 years in the AEW, the new television deal. He said they made a lot of experts look like idiots. It's like I don't if the fans think that them getting a new TV rights deal is making me look like an idiot, okay, I would suggest that the numbers on the Osprey Ricochet match and the Bryan Danielson Okada match are making the fans look like
We never thought that they wouldn't get a deal. We just thought they weren't going to make more than 170 million, and it looks like we were right.
right. Yeah, we said we get about two times, but they're getting 25% of what the WWE's getting now, so that shows you, and that's literally about what the strength of this product is.
Right.
It's about a quarter version of what I'm getting in WWE programming every week. It's like literally in WWE, I'm getting 4 segments that I like to 1 segment I like in AEW. That's a pretty good. That's about the ratio. Would you say that? Maybe it's even more.
More or less.
Yeah.
And I think
So-
Dave said all in. It's like 185 with everything. 180.
Wow. Okay, so Jericho noted that. Okay, so Jericho has he has a verbal exchange here with Mark Briscoe, and Mark Briscoe says you weren't as good as your brother. He hits him, says don't keep my brother's name out of your mouth, and bro, Jericho's going to be fighting for a Ring of Honor belt now.
Yeah. Let me just say a couple things. He should have beat out of Jericho and thrown him into those little trees and
Right.
everything. Like really beat him up. Right. That was so weak. Number two, bro, the people didn't pop when he said, "Oh, you're going for the Ring of Honor," because nobody cares about Ring of Honor or the belt.
All right, so their consistently best character on the show, Darby Allin,
Right.
had a video, and he recalled riding a bus. Like I said, nobody on this show gets more value out of their promo time than this guy does. Every
Right.
single week, he tells a story, and he has a compelling interview promo. He's very, very good at what he does. I bet you WWE has their eye on this guy.
They should.
Because they absolutely should, because he could do really good work there. So he was in a car at an undisclosed location. He recalled riding a bus when he felt something hit the back of his head. He said he turned around and discovered three men laughing at him after they spat on him. He said he got in the face of one of them and held up a switchblade. That's what he was going to do. And Allen said it looked like he was going to get stabbed. He said the fight was broken up quickly, but it felt good to stand up for himself. He said, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He said he put everything on the line against Jon Moxley because he was fixated on proving him wrong. Allen said people are losing faith in him, and he started to lose faith himself and asked what else he would do besides fight. And he issued an open challenge for WrestleDream and got fired up and told someone to step up. This is my only problem with this. I would have loved to have already had an issue with somebody that this promo could have been directed at instead of an open challenge, but it was still a good promo. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a good promo with no story.
Right.
You don't have like you wait.
Because that's how believable this guy is.
Right,
He's really good.
Yeah, he is good. But that was a good explanation of why he kind of looked foolish giving up his title shot to Moxley and losing it, right? Because now he's doubting himself. It's like, but that's how I roll, you know? So Paige and Juice Robinson have a match. And so, and the funny thing about this, McGuinness, the announcers during this, bro, these announcers, I'm sorry. Like, if the geeky wrestling fans just want the announcers to call this like it's just a shoot fight, and like just talk about all they do is talk about the moves in the match. Nothing. They don't really ever say anything entertaining or funny or heel. Like there's no heel baby interaction or like storytelling. But
it's almost like they're just going through the motions.
But the thing is that McGuinness said that he said thank you when they said at the end of the match they were making fun of him for saying thank you to Bryan Danielson. He said I wasn't saying thank you to Bryan Danielson. I was thanking to Tony Khan and to professional wrestling. So it's like,
okay.
What you thinking? So basically, Paige grabbed the ref and hit Robinson low blow, and he hit the buckshot Larry. Then after the match, he removed his belt and tried to hang him. Then Jay White came. He's hanging his buddy.
Right.
So Jay White comes out and he's looking at the entranceway, but Jay White hits him from behind and basically clears the ring of Paige and helps Juice Robinson up. So Jay White's back. So that was significant, I guess. But yeah.
This was a good match. Paige won with a blow and then the buckshot. But Jay came back. Now it looks like he's a face because Hangman's a heel. And those should be some good matches between them two.
So this is pretty funny. So Paquette's in the parking area and Jack Perry showed up in his bread truck. So Shibata approached him and through his phone, he challenged him to a title shot at WrestleDream. And Perry said he would talk about it. So when he turned around, Perry turned back and beat him up, and then accepted the match. Bro, this is a funny thing. Jack Perry just like completely punked Shibata there. Just beat him up like this. Bro, Shibata's supposed to be this like Japanese shooter guy that's no selling in his matches.
Right.
And like I'm supposed to believe that Jack
Perry
Perry
because he's another guy. He's another guy, as I mentioned before, that Tony's fixated on. He's gonna make him no matter what. He's a guy he discovered and he wants to make him. They've invested so much time in him. Bro, this is one of the worst beatdowns I've ever seen. Okay. And it was probably as whack as the bread truck he rides around with the name Scapegoat on it. Okay. I will give him credit. Now that he grew a beard, he doesn't look like he's 15. Same thing that happened with Yuta. he grew a beard and no longer looks like a teenager. He does better promos, but there's still something missing. For as much time as they invest in him, there's still something missing.
All right, so
I think
Brian Danielson.
after a segment in
How
his
much would you pop if he came next week and Scapegoat was crossed out and it said bread?
Wonder Bread.
Wait a minute.
No, Wonder Bread,
Milk
right?
toast.
Wonder bread. How
Bro,
about Trudy?
the baby faces should do that on the side of his truck.
That would be great.
Like a baby face who put
Right.
Wonder Bread.
Right.
or UPS. Right?
Federal Express, yeah.
Yeah, Federal Express, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this interview is a perfect summation of 5 years of where AEW is, okay? Brian Danielson had a Dynamite 5 t-shirt on. He said John Moxley, that got censored. But let me read you this paragraph that Brian Danielson said, and this sums up where this company is after 5 years and why. Danielson said it's been 5 years and they've broken the entire system that wrestling was built on. Danielson said AEW is where the best wrestle.
Right.
And that's why he challenged Kazuchika Okada. Daniel says they would find out who the best is. AEW, this is for you, Danielson said. What do you think of how excited did that make you to see this match, Konnan?
I mean,
If that's really, but that's what they think.
because this is what I think happens, Disco. These guys all came from the indies. They were all friends in the indies, or half of that roster. Okay.
Mhm.
And you know, WWE has a certain way that you have to wrestle, right? And so maybe in a lot of things they were in their mind they were handcuffed, right? Here you can do whatever you want, just like the indie days. Yee, it's fun. We do really long matches, and you know, and so there's a spirit of. It feels like the indies when there wasn't all this pressure on us, and we're here, you know, working for a huge fanboy, you know. And I think that's what I feel when I hear him say stuff like that.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's like
when at the end of the day, Brian, you're very smart because I've spoken to you before, and you know the business. You should know better than anybody else. You know what sells, and wrestling's for a very niche, small audience. You know, real wrestling, like what you and the Sickles like, and the numbers prove it.
right.
You know,
Yeah, it's just, and that's not hating, that's just stating. It's as the
right?
numbers do.
And he's one of my
Like
favorite
this,
wrestlers of all
like
time.
literally, this is the gist of your promo, promoting your match for the main event, and
Yeah.
we'll pull the numbers up when we get to it. But it's
Yeah,
like,
this is indie
bro,
wrestling on
everybody
TV.
turn it
Yeah.
off. You know, it's like, all right. So Jared, so Britt Baker is in Pittsburgh now. It's her hometown, so they have to give her a match and a win. So she wrestles Serena Deeb. There was an exchange there that went haywire. And I'm probably gonna blame. I'd probably blame Britt Baker because Serena Deeb trains the girls, so she knows
Right.
what she's doing. So and Britt's
Yeah,
been
she's
kind of,
clean in all her exits.
right. So I'm assuming that was Britt's fault. But Britt gave her the lockjaw and got the win. And they showed Britt's parents. The Deeb attacked her after the match to get her heat back and put her in a half crab. But your girl Queen Amanada made the save. Coney, excited about
Wait,
that?
did she put her in a half crab or did she put her in the tequila sunrise?
No, half crab.
Half
Okay,
crab.
'cause she
And
used
so
that.
this was I wasn't interested in this match. It's way too long. Are they starting a program? I thought the crowd was very flat considering Britt is from Pittsburgh and as much TV time as she gets. Because really the biggest pop came when she took out the glove.
Right.
Okay. Then Queen Amaretta came out, who been
Amanada.
beat Amanada, who's been
Amaretta. I love that though. That's a good.
yeah
People,
Amaretta
the fans of the Discord is going to like that, right, Joe? Queen
right,
Amaretta.
has been she's been beefing with Serena Deeb for a while now, bro. But she came in, and there was no bigger example than straight crickets inside of tumbleweeds tumbling down a ghost town. Nothing.
Right.
I mean, come on. The people did not care. That's all I got to say.
All right. So they interview Hook. I guess his dad got attacked, and he said he was
Right.
upset and find out who did it. Right.
Yeah, this was short and sweet.
Cage came out and cut a promo and said he's going to be the next AEW champion. Basically, is the gist of his promo. That's
Right.
it.
Nothing
Then
special.
Mariah May was interviewed and said Willow Nightingale is the definition of failing up. She mentioned that Willow's getting a title shot. Then Willow showed up and told May to talk to her if she has a problem. Then May pie faced her. Then they got broken up. Dave, bro, it's funny. Dave keeps saying that they have too many storylines on the show.
Right.
Like these don't even qualify as a storyline. I'd like him to when you have him on, bring this show up and say, Dave, you mentioned this last. These aren't even stories. Well, what are the stories here? You know.
Write that down, Joe, because I'll forget. And by the
Yeah.
way, he's tomorrow at 11 a.m.
So then they do Private Party against your boys, the Iron Savages. They showed Stokely. Oh, Stokely Hathaway's watching on a monitor now.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. So they beat the Iron Savages. They get the mic. I don't. They're treating these guys like a top tag team too
Right.
now. If you
All
notice
of a
that.
sudden, they just decided to give him this push.
Right. Okay. So they call out the Bucks. So basically, Jack Perry attacks him. It's 3-on-2, and guess who runs out? Take a wild guess.
Well, I saw it, so I should remember.
Well, who did Jack Perry attack earlier in the show?
Shibata.
So Shibata comes out and evens the score. So then Chris Daniels comes out. And he has a great idea. What do you think this idea is for Wrestle Dream?
Shibata versus Perry.
No? Shibata and Private Party versus
Oh, that's
Perry
right.
and the
Yeah,
Young
that's
Bucks.
right.
And the Young
That's
Bucks
right,
are
yeah.
very
That's-
upset
yeah.
about this. I'm like, well, like I said, the
Bro,
show
I
is gonna be
saw
very,
this
is a
last
very
night,
easy show
and that
to
shows you how
discuss.
interested I was. Yeah.
Right. So MVP was interviewed, and he's about to make a big announcement. Nana showed up, took issue with MVP. MVP said to him last week, "I like Nana here." And
Yeah.
people forgot he used to be a wrestler and offered to face him in Pittsburgh. That MVP said he doesn't take complaints. And then
Yeah.
added he does. And then Sheldon Benjamin was standing behind Nana. Then MVP introduced Benjamin as his business partner, the president of their complaint department.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that. But
Well, let me tell you what
when
was.
Benjamin took Nana's cup and took a swig out of it and told him it was pretty good coffee. I didn't. This was. I don't know. What you think?
Let me tell you, it was weird because he's like, well, I used to be a wrestler and I'll take you on as if MVP wasn't tough. And he goes, but when Shelton showed up, he goes, but I won't wrestle him. You know, that was kind of weird. But he got a huge pop. MVP got a huge pop last week. Shelton got a huge pop this week. So what's all this about? Yeah, we should only use younger talent instead of older talent. They should have both. And this was proof of it.
Right. All right. So then we go to the anniversary show, and it's Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson. And get a load of this. They explained that Okada's title would only be on
That
the
was
line for the
dumb.
first 20
That was
minutes of the
dumb.
match.
Yeah.
Okay. While the AEW championship would be on the line from bell to bell.
Right. Gee, I wonder what people thought was going to happen there.
Right. Okay. So we go through the first 20 minutes, and then he doesn't.
Right.
Okay. And the people were like, bro, literally after the 20-minute mark, watch the crowd in this match. They're literally like just periods of time where everybody's just sitting there, like motionless, no cheering, no chants, and they're they were completely flat for this.
Like
right?
a respectful Japanese wrestling audience?
No, not even like respectfully clapping, just stand there doing nothing, right? Crowd is not into this, and you can tell the crowd's not into this. So pull the numbers up. How many viewers did this match lose? So they go in this super long overrun, which was unnecessary. But Claudio and Pac show up in the audience. Okada is distracted. Daniels, after all this wrestling they're doing, all this stuff, he rolls him up and gets a pin. It's the old distraction finish from the WWE. Okay, that was the lazy. How often did they used to do that, Konnan?
A lot.
Okay, so now for their 5-year anniversary and their main event, they decided to use the most overused finish in WWE for the past 10 years, which is the distraction.
No,
finish.
worse, Disco.
Yeah.
They had their two big matches had lame finishes.
Right.
The main event, which was a draw, and now this.
Right. So after the match, Okada grabbed him and hit him with a Rainmaker, and Okada flipped off Castagnoli and Pac. I mean, he's got heat with those guys. I guess maybe because they distracted him. But they hopped the barricade into the ring, and Castagnoli and Pac got Daniels on his knees and held him. Then Moxley showed up with Marina Shafir. Moxley had a mic and said, "Do you think this is about me?" Moxley said none of it was about him, and he's fighting for something much bigger than himself. And said if any of it was about him, he would have put Danielson out of his misery years ago. Then your boy Wheeler Yuta shows up with a hammer and chased Castagnoli and Pac to ringside. Then Moxley confronted Yuta, and Danielson attacked Moxley. Then Castagnoli and Pac returned to one after Yuta. And Danielson and Yuta cleared the ring, and Yuta took the mic and told Castagnoli and Pac he was tired of them treating him like a child. I like that line because they do treat him like a child. Yuta said if they want to get to Danielson, they would have to go through him on Title Tuesday. And he picked up the mic and said it would be him and Yuta against Castagnoli and Pac, and Danielson led the yes chants. Excalibur said Tony Khan has made the match official and thanked the fans for 5 years and for many more years to come. The show ended 31 minutes after the top of the hour. It's a 31-minute overrun. Are you there, Conan?
Yes.
Okay. Your video's down.
Dude, I'm still hot that Tony got power drove, wore a neck brace on NFL films or whatever it was, and never, ever, never, ever did anything about it. But anyways, read what Powell's point of view was on this. I'd like to hear
All right.
this.
Obviously, Danielson and Okada work really well together, but go back and listen to the crowd reaction to the Forbidden Door match and even the Wrestle Kingdom match and compare it to the reaction they received during this. Yes, Pittsburgh has been a tough crowd over the years, but this particular crowd was actually very lively earlier in the show. They were into the main event, but it just doesn't feel nearly as big as the previous matches. Okada is especially rough placed creatively, and the silly stipulation regarding the 20-minute mark made it feel obvious that Danielson would win after they passed that point, and even then it was a weak distraction finish. Overall, AEW did a nice job of creating the anniversary show vibe by showing some older clips, which is something they failed to do on other milestone shows. Sadly, the show was built around two big matches that both had lousy finishes, and rather than forward the Moxley and Crew storyline, they used a post-match angle to set up a tag team match for next week's show, built around whether Yuta will truly stand by Danielson. Yawn. This would all have been bad enough on a standard show, but I think viewers expect and deserve better from the Dynamite 5th anniversary show. I think you kind of summed it up perfectly
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Well, what do you
Nothing
think?
to add. Nothing to add.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
Yep. The hits on this show were, well, yeah, there were a lot of misses. Let me see if there were any hits, in my opinion. So
Darby was a hit.
Darby, yes, Darby was a hit for sure. I thought Osprey and Ricochet was a miss because the finish.
The finish up to me.
I thought that the Jericho thing was a miss because, like he says, no good heat.
Just nobody cares.
Jack Perry's a miss.
Shelton was a hit.
Sheldon Benjamin was a hit. Hangman Page, and he was a hit.
Yeah.
How
How about Jack Perry? Nothing.
No, that's not a hit. And Hook was not a hit. What's his name was not Cage was not a hit because he didn't really say anything.
Yeah, for a 5th anniversary promo, I
Right.
mean, it was just
A lot
you know
of
what I'm
misses on
saying?
this show. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
might have done that on Rampage. It would have had the same effect.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.